My name is Damali Ssali and I welcome you to this episode of the Ideation Corner. The Ideation Corner is a space where ideas are discussed and dissected, and today I host Lyn Andinda Bahati. Lyn is the proprietor of House of Ndinda. House of Ndinda is an interior design and furniture business. Lyn, you're very welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Let's start off with Ndinda, the name. How did you come up with that?
So, Ndinda is actually short for my name, Ndinda. And the reason I call my business Ndinda is because way back when I was looking to, as a young girl, people always said I was too much because perhaps I can do a little bit more than anyone could, I guess. Yeah. So I thought, so people hate that I'm too much. So I guess I need to create a space of my own that allows for all my needs to get out. So I thought, okay. And then perhaps also, because I'm like, I imagine I'm not the only one in this country that is too much. So I could create a community of too much people. So yeah, that's how I said. And I said house because I wanted it to be house. A house does not contain you. It's not a home. A home is specific. It's personalized. But a house, it could be a house of so many things. And I intend to explore all my personalities, I guess.
All your too much.
Yes. So that's how.
But I do like it because it's very, when I saw it, House of Ndinda, I was like, okay, this is definitely Ugandan. This is or African. Yeah. And I liked that identity. Immediately someone can say it's not a foreign.
Yes.
It's African, or at least at the very least it's African.
Yeah.
And I like that it's even a short part of your name.
Yes.
So you didn't put the whole Ndinda.
No. Because then Ndinda also means protect me. Ndinda yeah. So Ndinda could mean he protects me, and can also be wait for me. So I thought wait for me, protect me sounds good for a person looking for a space.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So tell me about what does Ndinda do?
So Ndinda is a house that does interior design, furniture, and I think so. I think I don't want to again contain it. Yeah. Right now where we're at is interior design and furniture. Yeah. So we do consultations, we do color coordinations, we do a lot of furniture, custom made furniture as well. So yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so break it down for me. If I was a business, because interior design, sometimes this word is huge.
Yes.
We don't know what it is. We hear interior design, like I don't know what they are, but they're usually expensive. When they start labeling themselves like that.
As an interior.
Yes. As an interior design. As soon as you hear the word, you're like, no, let's get someone else who doesn't have the word interior design who can, help me with this. Yeah. So break down for me the interior design that you do. For example, if you're doing it for a company or you're doing interior design for an individual, just walk me through.
So the process usually is get to know the client. So my client has reached out and say they're looking to spruce up their house. So the first question for me is, who are you? So Damali, who is Damali? And I want to know a bit about you, because for me, my angle of interior is it has to be personalized. It has to be a place where you feel comfortable. You as the person, you as the client, where you feel accepted again. And so what we do a consultation. This includes site visiting, ideation, conceptualization. That's where we start to listen to the ideas. What is disturbing you? What do you hate in your house?
I want an interior designer to come to my house and help me with it.
Yes, they need to help you. Yes, so what I do is I come to your house. Site visiting is where I come to your house and then look at all these things that you're saying. Okay, I don't like this. I think my house is ABCD, and I'm like, okay, so I help you almost come to a conclusion or a certain space where you're like, okay, I'm comfortable with this. Perhaps we should take out this. Perhaps we should add this.
I could say, I want to change my entire living room.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so what is it about you? And then after I pick personality of you, and I'm like, okay, so because there's styles, there's you can have a farmhouse style, modern style. So if I say you're a rustic kind of girl, then I'm like, okay, rustic, and I look at all the elements of rustic, right? And then I tie them back into the personality that you are, and then we spruce up your living room. So it could be a table, the painting, the curtains, and the couch, something along those lines.
And sometimes you can leave some of my things.
Yeah, because sometimes I actually come to your space and I notice that what you're unhappy about is perhaps just the way you placed your items. Sometimes, so that's why consultation.
That's why you have to do the consultation on site.
Yeah, because I want to be able to see, okay, what is her problem? She thinks her problem is, I hate this house, or the house is too small, but perhaps you've cluttered it and your placement does not help. Because we also have tendencies, so that you come to a house and the house is painted blue, like a dark blue, and you already have terrible lighting. The house is small, and then you have a big couch. So perhaps I come in and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, so we just need to change your painting to a white, because when you paint it white, then it illuminates and gives the vision of a wider space, freer and lighter, which then beats the problem. The problem is it's small, it's tight, and then we clutter, and that means I'm not really taking so much from your space. I'm just picking things that I think are not necessary. You could reuse them, or you could put them up for sale. Okay. Something we also offer at House.
Oh, you offer that?
Yeah, because
so if you come to my house and you're like, okay, we're definitely taking the couch out, you could help me sell.
Yeah, because then we figured, and one of the visions is to also help people get affordable furniture, because it's very hard to get furniture here, and also have a variety of options. So we can only get variety if we have a community of people selling different items.
Okay.
All these items are usually pre-loved, good quality, and then you give me the buyer or the seller. Sorry, the seller gives me the price, and then I put up on my Instagram. We have a social media platform that we use, and then you can see, and then you purchase. So we're helping people access the furniture that is affordable, and we also custom make. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And if I'm a business entity, maybe I'm going to be renting this space, and maybe I'm already there, but I want it changed. You do the same process?
Yeah, we'll do the same process. We come to the site, we see what we can do, keeping in mind that the space is not yours, because I can't perhaps break down a wall. It's not your space. But then I improvise. We're very resourceful. So we improvise. What else can we do that will make you achieve your idea or dream without necessarily damaging where you're at?
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, how does a girl, your girl? Because I thought it was incredibly, I'm always like interviewing, there's a lady I interviewed on the last season, Sharon Sime, and my excitement was about her being in this male-dominated space, as we think it is.
Yeah.
So, and here you are also, you're in this space where we think it's very male-dominated.
Yeah.
And it's very complicated, because one of the reasons why people don't get furniture, or I wouldn't deal with a carpenter, is because it's too complicated.
Yeah.
You give them your deposit, they disappear, they make you wait for a year for your piece.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get involved. So while I love Ugandan furniture, I actually haven't bought Ugandan furniture because of that. So I buy foreign furniture.
Yeah.
Just to cut that bit out.
The bit of frustration.
How does a girl get into this space?
Let's see, this girl was, I guess she was just a resilient girl. She was looking to do something that did not contain her. Again, I think I've had this, did not contain me. Yes, and so, what happened was how I set it out. After senior 6, I am here in Kampala, just moved to Kampala, and I'm trying to do school. I did about 2 semesters. I was doing BBA, Business Administration, and I was going to major.
University?
IEA, International University of East Africa, and I was going to major in marketing. So when I did school and worked then, so I remember I went to this guy as a high school, the girls' school, and I was pitching this idea to the HM there. And then she told me, why are you doing school? I said, yes. She said, why are you doing school? Because, I mean, if you can manage to sell an idea to me in 5 seconds, 5 minutes, then I think you're good. So
I don't think you need to get a whole bachelor's degree.
She thought I didn't need to. And she asked me if that was it about me. And I said, maybe not. And she said, you know what I would advise you to do? And I'm always going to be grateful for her. She said, I think you should just use that money for something else. Save that money for something else. And until you are sure of what you actually want to learn and use it to impact someone better than you're already doing, then you can go back to school. And so I left campus, varsity then, and I did my work. And I worked for about 3.5 years in the book section. I loved books. It was comfortable until I had to leave. When I did leave, then I joined the furniture company. How? They were looking for a design associate. Trust me, I'm not one. Then I wasn't one. I hated math. I didn't like numbers. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna, fill my application so you can stop badging me on my Instagram. It was like, feed post. I was like, okay. And then I got into the job. And again, because I'm very willing to learn. And for me, I think that's what helped me. I was open to learning. Okay. And I'm very passionate. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a try and see how that goes. And then I did. And with the errand boy thing and, carpenters, I got to learn and I sewed. And
so what exactly were you doing at that particular company? So you have no background in furniture.
Yes.
But you come in, what were they giving you to do?
So they told me, well, you're going to come in here and do some bit of administrative work. Well, administrative work was more like the numbers, the record bookkeeping, basically. The numbers that you don't like. And social media, yes. And the numbers I didn't like, but I thought, okay, there's much more to it. I mean, it's a furniture company. I was intrigued.
Okay.
So I did the numbers for them, and I also did a bit of marketing because I'm a little bit good on social media platforms. So I thought, okay, I'll just start here.
Social media.
And then, so she asked if I was interested in a design, and I thought, yeah. And she said, okay, you have a computer? I said, yes. She says, the internet. Oh, okay. She told me Google SketchUp. SketchUp is an app. It's like a program, I think a software for like design furniture and stuff. And I got it and I remember looking at it thinking, okay, so that thing says make a line. What am I supposed to do? So anyway, so what I thought, and I remember she told me, she said, well, you can also start practicing to sketch in books.
Okay.
And I was looking at a graph book now. I remember graph books are like for primary school. I'm like, all right, look at us now. We're doing math. And anyway, so that's how I started. I started sketching furniture, and over time I had to learn the numbers, especially dimensions with the furniture and design. So that's how I actually got there. And so I was doing a little bit of everything, which allowed for me to also be very resourceful. Allowed for me to learn and know other things.
Yeah. At the same time, you're also connecting with the people who were
yes.
in the furniture.
So I was also like the face of the company. I did the sales, I did the social media, I did the deliveries, and I also did the supervision for carpenters. They'll ask me, check on this carpenter, what have they done, what are they doing, and then I'd go there because, and I find, these people very interesting, good stories. I guarantee you, I had the best time of my life with these people.
One who says that with those people.
Well, I think it all starts with, are you able to strike conversation and just be in a place where it's of understanding. Don't come with a bit of a class difference or something. Just let the flow be. So yeah, that's how I got to know everything. Yeah.
And then from that company, then you left?
So yes, so I did leave. I think I was in a place where I was, trying to find where exactly I wanted to be. So I stayed home for about 3 months. A friend of mine says, oh, there's a startup. I was like, okay, sounds good. And then I get there, it was a cycling company. I loved the cycling, I must say, but I hated the desk work. I couldn't do...
So like the cycling, that's fine.
Yeah, the cycling is brilliant. I loved every bit of it. But the part where we sit and I sit behind a desk and look pretty, I couldn't do. But what came with that job was the luck that I had. So through that, because of the networking and stuff...
Okay, you were still connecting with people?
Yeah, because, I was the company number. So people still reached out and say, oh, hi, I was looking. I'm like, oh, no, Mochi is here. Call this number. But also because when I worked there, I was a very, social person. I talked to people and I want to think I did a decent job because guess what? I met my first client, and this woman, I'm forever indebted, was going to be the first person who gave me the nudge to take on interior design as a business, as a whole thing, you know. So I met Gloria, she's the owner of Ndinda, and she said, hey, I'm looking for someone to project manage, and I know you have a background. And I said, yeah. I mean, I was very thrilled though, because I'm like, oh my God, I hate desk work. But then I'm here getting a chance to actually do something. Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, okay, sounds good.
And she had known you from the other
from the former job, yes. That's how she'd met me.
Okay.
And so she had a bit of confidence, I think, asking me to project manage a whole cafe. So here we are, we're doing this thing and we're sharing ideas.
Which one did you do?
And this one is, I've done quite a bit of them, but the first one was the Design Hub, the one in the gym at Ultimate Fitness. That's Design Hub, industrial area. Okay. So I did that.
I had a lot of faith in you.
Thank you. I was like, oh my God. Like I said, it was the boost that I needed. So anyway, so I did the job and she was very happy. And you know what? It's easy for one to think I can do it. It's the other to actually see it done. And I'm like,
I did that.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I did contribute to that. And then she said, we have another. And I said, okay. She said, this one is 2 weeks. I know that sounds crazy. Don't ever buy it. 2 weeks from an interior designer of a project. It's doable, but it's a big risk. You can't do that. But I did it anyway. So what I did, because I did my 9 to 5 and then I did 5 to like midnight.
Oh, you were
sometimes.
Still working at that time when you took the gig with Ndinda?
Yeah, with Ndinda.
Okay.
So I couldn't get into my boss's hours. So I did 9 to 5 and 5 on to midnight sometimes. Because we had a deadline. It's a bank. They don't allow for day work. So I had to figure out how to do it. And then I did it and it was 2 weeks and it was done. I was like, I could get used to this. I enjoyed it. The thing is, I really enjoy interior design and furniture and seeing people happy because this is a tricky thing. You're seeing pictures of stuff that you want brought to life. And you know what? The internet is very tricky. It could have been photoshopped. Yeah,
and like you said, you could be lying about the furniture you're claiming to have.
Thank you. And you know what? And I'm an online business. Well, right now I'm not fully business, but I have an Instagram that I share these things. So the best you know about me is just online, and I could be lying about these things. Which is why I would love for Ugandans to actually embrace using interior designers because there's so much that goes into this work. The money could have been taken by the carpenter. Like you said, it's not like all carpenters are very forthcoming. They're not. So anyway, I was very thrilled. We'd done this work. And she said, let's talk the money.
Is it after you done the work that you started talking money?
Yes, I didn't this whole time.
You're those creative people, because I found
Yeah.
creative people get so lost in the passion of the work, they forget to worry about the money.
Thank you. Big mistake. Don't do it. But this whole time, the excitement was like, oh my God, I get to do something that I actually had loved.
Yes.
I just needed someone to actually
give you the chance.
give me the chance actually and the push. So here I am. She said, I'm going to give you money. And it was my first check, man. I get my first check, and then I knew for a certainty.
Like, this is it.
Then I'm going to get into this ocean. I'm probably going to get bitten, eaten, anything. But I knew that I loved it, and I knew that I wanted to create a space for people to express themselves. You know, because not often do we get the chance to, with the culture bringing and everything, not so many of us can express ourselves. And with this whole mental illness, you know, getting, you know, terrible every other day, if I can help you express yourself through your house, one person a day, I'm good.
And you're happy with that?
Yeah, I'm very happy. Because even for me, I know that for the things that have kept me sane, it's because I have a space to go back to.
Okay.
A space that does not involve anything else except what feeds my soul.
Right.
And that's, you know,
That's
how
what-
we are. Yeah.
So then how did you start then House of Ndinda?
So, you know, what happened is after she'd given me this money, I was thrilled again. I was like, okay, so I'm going to spend this money.
Yeah.
I was very young. I spent most of my money. But I will tell you this. I didn't use money or capital, right? Or education to start the company.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
That you do not have a bachelor's degree. You didn't have the capital.
Yeah.
What did you use?
I just believed in myself. So what I did, because I could get offcuts. So because usually when you like make
What's
a
an
table,
offcut?
an offcut, yeah. So usually when you make like a table out of like wood, there's pieces that are left,
The
just
ones
like
that are
a
left
cloth, yeah, like the pieces that remain of the bigger piece. So I had learned while I did a blog then, I had learned that anything could be transformed to do anything. And here I was thinking it was a decorative items. So I thought I was gonna make, the first item I ever made was candle holders out of wood. So we have the normal wood, you just cut a circle in it and put a tea light candle.
Okay.
And I'll just use like twine rope.
Okay.
There's one that's not really rope. So you tie them together and I'm like, hi, product here. And then you know what's funny? It's like,
And
some-
when would you? These are the ones that you started posting.
yeah, so I'm
initially,
on my
like,
so I'm on my Instagram and I'm like, oh guys, I made this, and also put like a time lapse, like a quick video of what I was doing to kind of show people, because I'm
That process, by the way, is very interesting.
Yes.
Because there was a piece I saw on your website, and then you also had the video.
Yes.
And I was so interested in the video.
how
Like,
it
how
gets
did it
there.
become that?
Yes, because I also came to find that the reason people also very not trusting with carpenters is because you don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I find that you will appreciate much later the product if you know how much goes into it. So I also wanted to show people I'm big on transparency. I want people to trust me with their money, because this is lots of money you're giving someone.
Yes.
So I started to show behind the scenes, you know, a
Okay.
bit of video, and then I posted this candle.
And it also gives me confidence, because I felt like the first time I saw your page and your videos, it's a mutual friend now of ours, Sandra Chianga, who showed it to me, because she's a big Instagram person. I'm not. And so she was showing it to me, and I was like, what? She does it herself? This is shocking. She actually does. And I saw, like, I watched several of them just to see, does she actually do it? Or she just in the video being pretty? No, she was actually doing this.
Yes, because I like to get my hands dirty. And you know what? Even for like an interior designer, I think you get to appreciate something when you go through the processes of it. Because you know what? Wood needs a lot of patience. While you have the idea, sometimes you actually do the thing practically and the technicalities are not right. So you have to repeat it. Okay. So, and I
So sometimes you
love,
can sketch something and then...
yeah, you sketch
not-
it,
yeah.
the dimensions look right, but perhaps the joinery needs to be tweaked. And often if it's a prototype, you have to repeat it 1 to 3 times to get it right. So, and you know what? I just love to get my hands dirty, because having worked with carpenters,
Yes.
it was so much fun. It was like, can you imagine? There's like good story, there's kabozi, you know, it's such a dream. So I liked it, and
You're the only one who would say this.
and you know what? I just loved it, and I like to know people their point of view from, from what I'm seeing. And for me, it allowed for transparency, even with the carpenters. Now I appreciate where they're coming from, and sometimes why they price.
Okay.
And it's an art. It's a whole big interesting thing.
Because it's all by looking at you, they determine how much they'll charge you, how much they will charge them by looking.
Yes,
you make a different price for the same product.
And you gotta know why sometimes. And then sometimes we're like, oh, it's a day, but the work, the reason, the effort. Because like I said, you could repeat this chair 4 times. That's machine work. That's wood being wasted. That is labor. And then by the time I get to the product, a lot has been put into it.
But it's the same price you told me that I will still pay you.
Thank you. So in the end, and there's a lot of losses that actually happen behind the scene, because now I'm like looking at this table, it's cost me twice what I caught. What I caught it for you. So,
and yet you can't, if you change, I will
because
say
then
as usual.
So I've lost you, right? So it's a lot of, you kind of have to be in the process to appreciate
You need to know it.
And I'm glad that I had the chance to through, my former job. And I just love it anyway. I just like how something timber, because a tree, not many of us love the texture of a tree, right? But when you see it being cut to timber, from timber to a furniture piece, the wood has beautiful grains. Elgon has beautiful grains. The colors change. It's like different personalities. You know what? I just keep coming back to so much to different personalities, but we're allowing these trees to express who they are and what they can be. It's a little bit deeper than it should be.
It's too deep for you.
It's a little too deep. Yes, I'm too attached to the process of it, and I love to see the smile. When I've delivered,
for the cost
leave
of
the
clients,
money.
you're like,
Well, don't leave the money, but don't look at the money.
You need someone who is just looking at the money.
Yes, you need someone to look at the money, but for me, the ultimate
joy,
fulfillment is when I see you happy with it. Just say, this is it. This is it. And love your space more, because that means I've created a space for you that you can now enjoy.
True. Then the good thing I also like about is that, because again, it's Sandra who then, she was able to, because normally you see these fantastic pieces online, but they're out there. You can't order them; it's too expensive to bring over. So you just like, I'll let it go. But I like that someone can download an item and then give it to you, and then you do it locally from here.
Yes, because we have so much potential. So you know what? Actually, Uganda has so much potential. So many creatives. So many artisans. We just need the chance to showcase this. So for me, like I said before also, it's like bringing me a picture is one thing. The product is the other, because if I give you something that is not what you gave me, then I'm disappointing you. So what I learned over time is to be open to learning. So when you give me the picture, before I tell you I can do it, I look at it very clearly and I ask my guys, my carpenters and stuff, and we say, we're like, is this practical? Because I don't want to give you a yes and then say, and give you something that is really not nice, because no, that's not good. So what we do is we look at these pictures, we look at the technicalities and say, okay, we can do this. No, we can't do this.
Okay, you tell me from the get-go that.
Yes, because I don't want to lie to you and then break you, which is, going to happen if I actually say I'm going to do that and I can't do it. Because like the other thing is that most of what the wood we have is not the wood they have usually, the people out of Africa, I think.
Because ours is harder, I think.
Yes, and they also have so much machinery to work with. We don't have, we're a little limited here. So some of the items can be pulled off with certain machines that we might not have, which is why it is important for the person in the process to be honest and look at it and say, is this something we can produce? Look at the technicalities of it. What does it require? Does it need a specific machine? And then you're able to produce.
Can you adapt it a bit? Where like, Damali, you showed me a picture where you want a chair like this. I can't do it because it requires a certain machine, but I can adapt it to look something kind of close.
Yes. Earlier we were speaking about how it is easy for me to quickly say, okay, so we can't achieve this, but this is plan B. I could make it this way, or perhaps I'm not going to use the wood. If I use the nettle and add just hues of the wood to it,
you also use nettle.
Yes, because you want to be alternative. I want to think, you're not trying to play it safe here. The beauty about creating is you are actually going all circles. You're adopting things, you are unlearning things, and so if I can't actually give it to you fully in wood, perhaps I can convince you to look at it differently.
Okay.
Yeah, so I give you a plan B. I'm like, okay, if I use this, we might achieve it, but if this is the material, and then you tell me, okay, yes or maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll usually before I say no, I have tried. I have really gone, I've gone all over. Yes.
My other question is most of your business through your business orders, are they through mostly Instagram or are they mostly referrals?
I think it's a 50-50 situation because through my former jobs and all these things that I did, I was lucky that I did have a good network. I networked with people, and actually, you know what's funny? Most of my clientele is people I've met in my former life.
Really?
Yeah.
So your entire journey was connecting you to the people.
Thank you. My whole journey has just been I'll need her, I'll need you, I didn't know this, but this is how it stand up. Because even recently, someone said, "Hi, Linda, give me your contact," and I said, "Okay." I knew Linda, but you know what's funny? I actually didn't know her through my company then. I'd met her before at Bookpoint.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, hi." I even reached out, I was like, "Hi, do you remember me? I used to work at the bookshop." And she's like, "Yeah, I've seen your work and I really appreciate it." And she'd seen some people. So all my referrals are both Instagram and referrals.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've also been in online business for this much. Like, we don't have premises of our own yet.
You've always been online, but I think maybe that's the way to go.
I think that's where we're headed.
That's why have overhead costs when you don't need.
Thank you. And you know what? Starting a business is hard. Since I didn't have the capital or money to start, I figured I can afford data, right? For 5,000, 2,000.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do this work and I put it on the
there,
because it's a community as well. There's people out there, and as long as you are behind and you show your face once in a while for relativity, because I don't want to buy a computer. I want to buy the person behind the product, right? Then you're good to go. So that's how we.
I watched a lot of your videos.
Yeah, so that's how we've managed to be able to sell as well, because people are like, okay.
Yeah,
she's doing it, right?
Yeah, and that for me was the biggest thing.
Yeah,
you were doing it, so I feel like I can trust her. She's my carpenter. It's a lady. Yeah, for some reason I trust the ladies more. Yes. So I'm like, it's a lady. She's doing it herself. I can trust her.
Yeah, and for me that even goes just bigger, because I could have just decided to not do anything about my life and say, you know what, I don't have education, I don't have the money,
capital,
so I'm just gonna go home and sit. And I see people, if you're stuck in a place right now where you have a thing that you think might work, but you're scared because you don't have the capital or no one is going to buy, I'll say there's no other way to know whether they'll buy or not. You might as well just put it out there and see whether it's going to prove you wrong or right. Okay. So that's what I did. So I went for people to actually get out there, do it. And if you fail, you did try. Yes.
So, Lyn, we're out of time. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Do you have any last words? Where can people find you?
Yes.
Key one.
Yes. People can find us on both Instagram and Facebook. We're working on our Facebook. Our Instagram is very much on. Our website is a work in progress, but it's also there. So our Instagram is at House of Ndinda, house, normal house, and Ndinda is Ndinda.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can find us on there, and we also have our contacts all over.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you've had it from Lyn. You can go on her page on Instagram to order anything or just to see what she does. It's amazing what she does. She has a lot of videos over there that I enjoy. And thank you so much for watching, and you can follow, subscribe to our page.